Here, black is a piece up, but it's gonna get real ugly. Look at this position. 5 pawns for white, 3 for black, but there is this bishop. And at the end, I have an amazing exercise for you that I want you to solve, and I'll find you in the comments. Let's see who finds it first. The first thing that we think about here is capturing, right? The first move maybe that comes to your mind is this one, also this one, and actually you want to stop this pawn from queening. But there is much better than this. We're gonna make the black king suffer. This is the reason why you play chess, right? You actually just want your opponent to suffer. Otherwise, you wouldn't be playing chess. So you want to win, like here, with an amazing combination at the end, an amazing checkmate. If you start by capturing something, like for instance this move, the king is going to capture. And what are you going to achieve here? The illusion in our mind is thinking, okay, maybe there is this move. You know, when you look like in blitz, like super fast, but it doesn't do anything. And if you take this one, because look, if you didn't take this pawn, now this pawn is going to go this way and it's going to queen. So you're kind of forced to actually take this pawn now, because just checking doesn't achieve anything. I just show you what doesn't work. Here, I just take this pawn. And now if, for instance, white, it could look like our games. If we push, we lose. Because now the bishop just comes back, and there is no way to improve actually the position with white. And here there is an issue. So for instance, you're going to take, he takes, and then the king is just going to come, grab this one, and this one is going to go to a queen. So you have to be careful. This guy has a bishop, right? But this bishop for me, I mean, I see a lot of people saying the bishop is like 3.5 points, 3 points. We don't know. For me, a bishop like this is worth a pawn, is worth 1 point because of his activity. And I'm showing you this not just for the checkmate at the end, that is amazing, but to explain that the value of a piece depends where you put your piece. If the bishop was actually here, for instance, it would be way more powerful with a lot more diagonals. Here, for me, is a pawn. He has 2 squares to go to. So we need to use this to our advantage. So for me, when I look at this, I'm actually not a piece down. I'm actually 4 pawns against 4 pawns, basically, against 5, sorry. And now I'm thinking, okay, how do I win? Usually in endgames like this, you win thanks to the king activity. And this is when I'm starting to get closer to the answer here, because the winning move is to bring the king. And we notice how we are blocking actually the escape of this king. The idea is checkmate on the next move. If you decide to actually take, for instance, this move, then you're going to get checkmated in 2 moves. G5, the king goes up, this is the only square, and checkmate with a pawn, but it gets better than this, because he's not forced to take. He can, for instance, play a move like retreating the bishop. That's the only way to play to actually free this square. So when I take, actually you can retreat, okay? Now we're getting closer. Now I take. That's going to be super funny, because we're actually, if you want to win against your opponent and be like all proud of yourself, that's the best way, because what you're doing with his king, you're doing everything you want, basically. You're making him go down the board, and then you're going to make him go back all the way up the board. And you're going to win in a weird way with so many double pawns. Look how it goes. Check. Only 1 square. Check. Only 1 square. Check. And this is quadruple pawns. Look at this thing. Who said quadruple pawns actually is not strong in chess? I mean, not here. Only square. Check again. Only square. Checkmate. I showed you this if you want to actually make your opponent suffer. That's the most beautiful way. There was actually a faster way to win in this position. When he plays bishop g8, we took, but instead you could block the king straight away, and now it's a mate in 3 moves already. You can actually take this pawn, and now you're blocking the exit, because now he's forced to actually take, check, checkmate. And now I have this puzzle. Pawns are going this way. I'm gonna help you a bit, and then you have to find a solution. The issue here is that this king is attacking this bishop, and if you move the bishop, now the king is coming here, and now this one is trapped. And then how do you win? Right? And then you're going to tell me, okay, maybe the bishop has 2 squares, so he can come here. But again, king c7. And then both are attacked. So here I'm telling you something. I'm going to show you the best move, because It's kind of like hard to find. With white, I'm gonna show you the first move, which is bishop b7. This is the best move in this position. And now you're gonna tell me king c7, attacking both pieces, right? Now, I'm gonna put the bishop on a6. And now you're gonna take the knight. And now I have a question for you. How do you checkmate in 3 moves with white?